Howdy, Curb Creeper. Hello, Cindy. Ooh, Curb Creeper, if you have bad vibes, it's gonna be scary, the show. Kind of like what you're seeing there. I'm trying to hang in there the best I can. First one was France. This is Spain. We're going to talk about France and Spain tonight. There's a reason why I'm showing this in the intro. Well, we've kind of already talked about what's going to pass through there. You're already seeing the evidence of it right here. All right, already starting to happen. And this is nothing. That's why this is the ugly truth. Tonight's show is the ugly truth. So if you are disturbed by, well, this information is going to be disturbing tonight, all right? We're going to be doing a spiritual report at the end as well. Okay? So Spain getting flooded, and we have France over here getting pounded with 6-inch diameter hail. 6-inch hail destroys houses. Good. All right, I need people to kind of leave, because this show is not for everybody. If you're not spiritually strong right now, do not watch the show, because what I'm going to show you tonight is going to be disturbing. So, I don't mind if there's only... Look at that tree. Bam! Did you see that? Look at that, dude. That was lightning struck that tree. Oh! right. Everybody, get ready to have your windshields looking like this. All right, that's good enough. There it is. Bam. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Okay, so let's get into it. I'm going to let this play for a minute, okay? Because this is just, well, for the people with the trained eye, it's disturbing. But while this is loading up, I want to take this moment to thank you for taking a moment of your precious time to be here with this precious family. Okay? I think it's important now you understand what's going on here at this channel. All right? This is more than just a family. This is, well, you guys are precious. Okay? I don't even know where to start right now. I'm kind of lost for words for a moment. Lord, help me, please speak through. We're going to do this. Okay, so there's your, there's your loop playing. You see our spire over here. You see this big event over here on this side. It's really deceiving, but that's a big event right here. There's a huge object right in there. Okay, they're hard to capture, but you can see this flow here. You can see the back side of it just faintly right here in this frame. So there's your object. The flow asymmetries is what gives it away as well, okay? So while everybody's looking over here and looking at these objects and stuff, this, you see it, it's right in there. Okay, I have I've tried my best to show you guys what's going on here. It's an ugly truth. Okay, most people, when they see it, they don't want to see it, so therefore it goes still unseen because it's just an ugly truth. It's causing all kinds of headache and problems. There's more than just this one big one. I showed you, the thumbnail the other night was of a crop circle, and it's 3 of these big ones that we're dealing with. 3 of these big ones with their little satellites, as well as all kinds of other stuff that's coming through, UFOs, all kinds of other great stuff. All right, so bear with me here. I'm in the middle of a salvage. I had to use this show to kind of trying to salvage my evening. Okay, meantime, over on this side, we have another one of these little satellites, probably off of this. When this thing comes up to the sun, any of the satellites, the sun acts like a wedge. It's a magnetic wedge. It shears off these little satellites. Here's your bigger object that's passing. This one was probably orbiting out a certain distance. We either sheared it off or came in between the orbit of this going around that. Ta-da, see what I'm saying? And now this thing's passing on the other side of the sun. You can clearly see the wake coming off of it. Okay, I am getting frustrated, I'm sorry, with some other solar reporters, okay? And they're all of a sudden kind of having to, what's going on? What's happening? I mean, please try to explain that CME. It's going backwards. It's a reversed. Lord, help me, please. It's just, you guys understand. You're here. You see what I'm talking about. We have this dilemma. Okay. Anyways, let me continue on with this frame. Sorry, I'm having a rough day. Trying to get through it here. You guys are helping too, so thank you. right here at this point, it is, I want it clear as a bell. Give it to me in the biggest maximum frame we can get it in, so you can see that there is an object there. There is plasma draping around it. All right. It absorbs light. They're hard to see when they interact with the sun. Plasma drapes over them, painting the curvature of the object. Okay. You guys understand? You see what's going on here? Some of these things have faces on them because we're dealing with the spiritual realm. This whole place is the spiritual realm. We just need to start learning to accept it. All right, so here's our object. It's clearly interacting with the sun. You see the plasma wedge, the wings, or whatever, draping around it, the plasma. And then as it continues on out, you see another CME coming out to go over this, another object back behind it. Several little satellites. One here. They're all over, really. Another little one there. So let's just keep going here. On this one shooting off over on this side, you can see the tapering, teardrop spaghettification of the plasma. Meanwhile, you got your sun diving comet coming in. And that was the last frame right there. Okay, so right here is the opening frame. Here's an object, a little satellite for this bigger object. Capture that one good. Whoop, see right here, you can start to see it. Ooh, 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 ooh. Right there. Okay, you can see the curvature of it, and you can make out it's not perfectly round on the backside. You can see the other little satellites that are going around this thing. There's a round curvature, but you don't get the perfect arc because there's another little body right there and another one right here and some other ones. So you can see our bigger one back here with its little satellites. Some of these got ripped away. You're seeing a small object moving in the sky when you're looking up at night. It could be a little UFO. Could be a little planetary body. I mean, they're all over the place. All right, so as we continue out, you can track this round object by the flow asymmetries because it kind of disappears. Then we have our event breaking over on this side. Ooh, something else sneaking in over here, something right around there maybe. Big old streak across the whole page right there. You can see how this plasma, when it comes over, all right, first we have the wings that are reaching back, right? Then when this next CME hits it, it drapes over and it dams up on the back of it right here, making that little C-shaped arc. See it damming up behind it there? Could be. It's not a plane, but I lose it. Then seconds later, I see a bright star-like object get real bright. Yeah. And disappear like a starburst. Yeah, those are your UFOs. Those are your... That's a UFO, sweetie. Watch. They do that all over the place. Usually when you see one, the first few times you'll see one at a time. Then once you get attuned to what you're seeing, then look towards a different direction, and there's usually a second one somewhere. They'll be running parallel sometimes on crisscrossing courses, and you'll see them. You need to kind of watch them out of the corner of your eye, and you will see that they move in little bursts and little zigzags. They're not a satellite that moves in a nice smooth line. Sorry, I'm just reading these. They do know you telepathically. They can recognize when you see them. Okay, and remember, I see you watching me, watching you, watching me. I you can tell them I see you because you see it moving around the sky. They're watching you, right? And you see them watching you, but you're watching them watch you. So I see you watching me, watching you watch me. Oh, okay. And it worked. Yeah. If they come down personally, Cindy, they're a little scary. Tell them who you know, and they will leave you alone. Okay. But it's important that it's a shocker. It changes your life. It changes your perspective on the world when you see your first UFO. I mean, the real deal, and maybe even some people around. The eyewitnesses see it too, and then you're not crazy. Other eyewitnesses have seen the same event along with you. There, nice triangle, and that's when your perspective on everything changes. And now there's UFOs are part of the story. I was a ufologist for a long time because I had encounters when I was very young. My whole life it followed me, and I thought everybody had that problem. I thought it was normal. Everybody got followed by UFOs or whatever. Apparently not. Nobody's ever seen one or ever had to deal with one. So it's odd for you folks. It's normal for me. But I remember my first time, how it changed the way I saw the world. And then that's why they keep it secret from you too, because it opens up your mind to different dimensions, to different realities. All of a sudden, it's not what you thought it was, and there's bigger game going on. And that's just a hint at the bigger game going on. The bigger game isn't the UFOs, they're just a little part in it, a little tiny, minuscule part. And everybody's going to think it's the big deal. Not even close. There's a way bigger deal. Way bigger deal. Anyways, here's here's this object over here. You got this little pyramid looking structure. That's what I was trying to do. Started talking. Yes. I know. I'll let you be the judge of this. Let me just kind of dim it down for you, get the best image I can here. Whoops, wrong direction. There we go. And you can almost see the little shadow it's casting. It's not casting a shadow, but per se on the instrument, it does a little bit. Okay. The ghost imager. Okay. But here you can see your little triangle. Looks like a pyramid almost, with a face on this side, a face on this side, another one. Yeah, it's a pyramid, don't you think? I wonder. Oh, there it is. Yep. What do you think? Think that's a pyramid? I don't know. I'll let you be the judge of that. But one thing I need to reiterate here is this is NASA's instruments. Yeah, I know. Duh. So what? Guess it doesn't sink in. This is NASA's instruments, not mine. I didn't make this up. I didn't generate this image. This is what's going on around your sun. This is NASA's image. It's an ugly truth. Whoops. It's not fake. These guys probably don't even know what they're looking at, and they're looking for little discs and UFOs that they put a little rectangle over and hide it. Meanwhile, we got huge planetary bodies. They're just off the hook. Okay, let's move on. I'm sorry, I got a rough edge on tonight. I'm trying to my best here. Okay, solar flux indice is 174. It's down 12 points, so that's good. We're dropping a little bit. Our sunspot count number went up above 200, and now it's dropped down 6 points to below 200, so that's good. Let me just pop this one open for you guys just real quick. Oops, went too much. There's all your sunspots. We got a lot of them right through here, but none of them are very complex. There's no beta, gamma, delta complexity or anything like that. So even though we have a bunch of spots, they're not super active. So thankfully, we have enough on our plate right now. Okay, there's your solar or your solar flux, your X-ray flux right here for today. Not really much to look at. We'll kind of just do it anyways. You saw what we just covered, right? Now, from what we saw on the satellite, this is like no reflection of what was, what happened. This is just the instrument that's between us and the sun. So it only gets those readings, all right? So anything that's a little off, it's not in the direct path of this instrument. So bumpy little day, but you can see our main indice overall is kind of getting back down to the seafloor here. So that's good. We're getting lower indices. Came back up a little bit here for this event. That's going into tomorrow. Should we? Do you want to? I don't know. Before I tease you, it might not be there. So, let's refresh for even every frame. And here we go. Not much compared to what we saw. I think it's just this little thing here on the spire right here. All right, never mind. Moving back. So there's your X-ray flux for right now. Zooming back out and coming over to your geomagnetic forecast. Okay, so first, second, and third, all zeros, right? The third is when we're expecting a little CME, the 2 to 3 waves in a row, all right? And with the accompanying black hole type object, all right? So you will probably see the glancing blow G1 prediction, and we'll get a G4 like last time. Okay. And if something like that were to happen, it should be no surprise here. I know everybody else in the community is surprised and confused, but it should be no surprise here because I have explained why. These bigger objects, when they come along, the CMEs that everybody's looking at the CME that accompanies them, but the object itself has absorbed a bunch of radiation. Light does not escape from it, but radiation still emits from it. It's still decaying. So we still get radiation, geomagnetic radiation, when the bigger object passes by. So what if the CME from it glances, gives us a glancing blow? It's the object itself that's so charged, supercharged, right? That when it passes by, just its mere presence can induce a G4 magnetic storm, okay? And you could see that we had one in this event over here, and that's on the 30th. That would translate into 1, 2, 3, the third, second or third. Well, actually, this is on the first. Well, right around the third or fourth. Okay, if the trajectory is in our vicinity, if it brushes close enough to our magnetic field and its magnetic field kiss each other, a little brush and a little peck on the cheek or something like that, then we'll see a reaction in a geomagnetic storm. Depends on the trajectory of this. Without stereo A and no angle to compare, I cannot run any calculations and give you any trajectories except for my best guesstimate as to what it looks like. Okay? That and also our tracker. Okay. D layer's doing good. 5% on the X flare. It's really kind of quiet. Look at all the green right here. So all these sunspots, a lot of them, the only two that are growing are this one and that one. The rest are all stable and declining. So we're really not too much of a threat as far as Earth-facing CMEs. All right. Now, your auroras are still doing kind of good. Our KP index after our event that we had, our G4, that was supposed to be a G1 that nobody expected, all right, that I talked about here before it happened. Okay, I'm not trying to tell you I told you so or I predicted it. I'm just trying to explain how this works so you guys will get it. Anyways, back to the KP. Just a little bit above 3 right here. Nothing too big for right now. No telling we could have our unexpected geomagnetic storm because back on, we'd have to go back. I think we had another one. This one right here, down below. Okay, that one's going below the planet. That'll be here in 3 days from the 29th. So 29th, 30th, 1, 2. So it'll be here around the 2nd or 3rd. So we got something unexpected right there. Expected on this channel. All right. If something happens on those dates, it'll be from that object right there. All right. We're going to get a glancing blow from the CME. See, because the CME is kind of heading off to the south and off this way. Remember, we saw that on the tracker the other night. So, but that big object down below here, if you can't see it, let me show it to you one more time. Right down there. Wait. Let's go. This one. Right there. In this mass right here. So that's going to head south under the planet. So don't be surprised if we see a geomagnetic storm that when it hits the D layer absorption, you might see a stronger thing on the bottom than on the top. All right. Now moving on, a filament located in the southeastern hemisphere. Wait, that's today? No, that's yesterday's. Let's go look at the tracker. All right, you see the double wave here. This, I want this one right here, please. Please, Lord, let it work. Come on, load up, please. All right, thank you, Lord. It's coming. Just give it a second here. There we go. We're gonna load up the movie here. And while that's loading up, you guys, thank you for being patient and tolerant and understanding, and some of the practices and the disciplines come in handy. even while doing a show. Okay. Now let's that play for a second. You can see like the multiple little waves. That's the glancing blow right there. Okay. Glancing blow that hits. If we have an object that's following underneath and goes kind of maybe in between stereo A and Earth, but underneath, you see that big bubble right there that just kind of went underneath both of them? That would trigger a geomagnetic storm. Could trigger some other stuff too. All right, and every little ounce of radiation that we absorb is just bad news because it's well, I'm going to show you how it translates. I think you all understand how it translates. Let's just get on over to this one real quick. Cover some of this stuff. Get it over the way. Two or three CMEs which left the sun over the past few days are expected to graze Earth's magnetic field on July 1st. Okay, so on July 1st through the 3rd, the most effective hit will probably come on the 3rd from the CME hurled into space by a geomagnetic filament eruption in the sun's southern hemisphere. Okay, let's click on this CME because I want to see the CME that they're referring to. Oh, not found. That's okay. Anyways, minor G1 geomagnetic storms. Note, minor G1 class geomagnetic storms are possible before the 4th. All right. Don't be surprised if it goes higher than a G1. It could be like another G4 because we're dealing with a big object. Okay, look at all the sunspots for, well, it looks like solar max. The first 6 months of 2024 are in the books. Amateur astronomer stacked daily sun images for all 182 days, and it looks like solar max. Okay, this is not all the solar, at one time. This is all the ones we've had in the last 182 days. So, I see some other channels that, grand solar minimum. Time to change the title. We're solar maximum here. Look, it looks like solar maximum. All right. Everybody's saying, oh, there's a bunch of sunspots because it's solar minimum. Nope, not minimum. The other side of the spectrum, maximum. Okay. There's a difference. Solar minimum, there are hardly any sunspots. Solar maximum, there's a lot of them. Okay, so don't get them confused because I see a lot of comments in a lot of these other channels. Oh, it's because we're in grand solar minimum. No, grand solar minimum failed to happen. It was supposed to happen back in 2017, start back then. And we had 3 X flares that came off the sun that destroyed that theory. Destroyed it, eliminated it. It's gone. Your solar minimums and maximums, they're all wrong. You guys don't even know what they're talking about. It all depends on these objects, the season when they come around. The season when they come around. Okay. Now, getting back to this. Sorry. Beautiful picture, though. I love this picture with all the sunspots all gathered at once. It's a pretty cool shot. I would like to have like a poster or something like that. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyways, so our G1, don't be surprised if it's a little bit bigger because it has an accompanying object with it, all right? That's the reasoning why. I'm not just going out on a limb and saying, hey, I'm going to swing away because it happened last time. No, I described why it would happen last time, and it happened. I described why it would happen last time, and it happened. I'm explaining why things happen because they happen. Right now, I want you to just take a long, hard look at this. Take a deep breath. and look at this closely, and you're seeing your pattern. You're seeing your setup pattern. This is where it's just going to take, that's the shape right there, and it's just going to get stronger and stronger. Remember I was telling you that this would kind of induce hurricanes to come off of Africa and then equal distance spacing and then start to come off one after another, and we'd have this like rotating 8 or 9. Okay? It's not like I told you so or anything like that. I'm trying to explain how this works. This right now is your warning. Do you see it? Your conveyor belt is starting to pick up hurricanes. The heat is enough now, and we are producing. They're equal distant. This one's record breaking? Had the bombogenesis, the intensification. You don't even have to look at their models anymore. The spaghetti models, you can tell right where it's going. Follow the yellow brick road. Boom. And since this whole area right here heated up, it generated this flow. No matter what's going on in here, even though there's a little bit of cold water distilling this hot water a little bit, diluting it, diffusing it, it's still this flow. And remember I was showing you sandstorms that could hinder it, but that the temperatures are too high that the hurricanes would still fight through the sandstorms. Okay? I'm going to put it right in the middle here. All right? And we'll go back and we'll do the other part of the report and stuff, but this is the hard part. Let's just get it out of the way, all right? When you go to the doctor and he pulls out the needle and he says this is going to hurt, and you're like, oh! And this is where we kind of have to stick it in. The hard truth. You're going to have hurricanes coming along this band. They're going to go right up through the middle of the country, just ripping that whole alley. Get out of there. Get out of that alley. Other ones will come up the coast. Get off the coast. Everything's going to be coming through the Gulf. Get out of the Gulf. The way this conveyor is set up, you see hot water up here in the north. Storms are going to come over the Great Lakes, whoop, drop back down and, hit all this region and then go out to sea as like a tropical depression. They'll still be raining. They'll still have power and strength. Okay. Then they hit hot water. Hotter water than down here where it's generating hurricanes. What do you think's going to happen when you got a tropical depression coming over this water? Oh, you're talking category 7 or something like that, headed right. Watch the conveyor belt. Where does it disperse all that energy at? From here down to here. That whole fan. France and Spain are already getting a taste of it. I showed you 6-inch diameter hail happening in France, the flash flooding happening in Spain. It's already happening. We have 2 hurricanes equal distant already. Category 4. You think this one grew quick? Watch this one. And the next one comes, look at this right here. It's just, everybody pray. Get ready, be strong, be wise, okay? Look at your pattern setup. I've been warning you about this for a while because that's how it works. Much like the other one I warned you about. All right, because that's how it works. I'm not here trying to prove, hey, look at me, I'm right. I'm trying to help you guys understand what's about to happen. In the coming days, it'll come through here. It'll go across the Yucatan Peninsula. This little cold spot might just keep it going right across land instead of coming up right through the gut here. So it's going to come right through here. It's going to go across the Yucatan. It'll go right up there. It might even do a little quick rotation right here for a minute where the other one left off. What was it, Eduardo? But as you can see this flow, it's eventually going to get sucked up and go straight up the middle of the country. The Great Lakes, you see how hot they're getting? It looks like we're getting a stationary vortex right here. A stationary vortex right there would induce this whole flow to just keep doing that configuration. Okay. Also, well, here on the West Coast, we have this big yellow bar. It's doing the same thing. It's doing the same thing over on this side. We have a big conveyor belt effect going like this, up and over and around, okay? And we already saw storms coming off here ride the top part of the conveyor belt. They're not able to make it around. They get smashed going around the corner. But that right there is going to be very, very disturbing. Once we go through the phase of having multiple hurricanes rotating around like a carousel, riding the conveyor belt, hitting these countries, going across, hitting all this, hitting all that, just making lap after lap. One with another one, with another one, with another one right behind it. There will be no time to recover because another one will be bearing down on you. As soon as that one lifts, another one comes. As soon as that one lifts, another one comes. As soon as it'll just be over and over and over. They'll be equal distant like that so they can both breathe, so they can all breathe. And it'll be like this daisy chain of hurricanes. Every once in a while, one will peel off, go this way, and then four will go that way. And one, come back and hop into the same place where the one peeled off. So they'll catch up to each other and stay equidistant until this part up here, this main vortex, the center of this rotation right here, becomes the eye of the storm, and the whole conveyor belt becomes an eye wall. You're talking straight line winds that would be 200, 300 miles an hour going around like this. A hypercane. And it's already doing it. It's already starting. I showed you the rain and the 6-inch hail in the intro over here. It's already starting. We have early hurricanes that broke records. It started the furthest east. Already starting. There's a second one right behind it that's growing in strength. This one, bombogenesis. This one's bombogenesing. Already starting. Well, what path are they going to take? Well, follow the conveyor belt. Remember, here, I want you to hold that thought in mind right there. We did space weather here. Yeah. We need the Schumann. Let me get the Schumann out the way real quick here. Ooh. As you can see, came out of this last event, good continuity. We had some buildup of pressure release, a little grinding going on right here. Finally it released, some continuity, little grinding right there, but back to normal. Okay. So kind of normal activity right now. As these, as the CME and the geomagnetic storms hit, they will absorb into the magnetic field, be transferred to the poles transferred to the core being metal, will heat up. Metal expands when heated, so the core will heat up and expand, causing it to grind on the shell, and we'll see more grinding. Okay, but right now it's kind of after that little event, it tapered off pretty well. We had a little pop right there, but nothing too big, and we have good continuity. All right, now let's get back over to where we were, and let's do the weather. Okay. So your upper jet stream now is getting, whoa, 2 eyes, a nose, and a big old mouth right here. Anyways, your upper jet stream's getting wonky. Okay, you see, comes out of the Pacific, dips down, goes up, and is doing this wonky little pattern right there. Looks like a face with horns. Yeah. Anyway. Oh, that was trippy. So there's your jet stream, your upper jet. Now let's take you to the lower jet stream. Here's your lower jet. You see the correlation. Okay. Then we'll drop it down to the weather. Now, here we are at the weather. Do you see the same airflow pattern that we were just looking at? You do, don't you? Here's your hurricane. Here's your other hurricane. Here's your other hurricane. That'll probably produce another one, then another one, and it's just going to start spitting them out. It's going to get weird, dude. But you can see as it comes in, it goes up the coast here and goes into Texas, hitting right at southern Texas, right along the coastline of, Corpus Christi, the body of Christ. Then it goes right up through the middle of the country and then humps over, okay? So there's your weather. And then let's take you over to the particulates. And here's your sandstorm. And regardless of how powerful the sandstorm is, the hurricanes will outdo it. They will just scoop up the sand, push it out of the way, and continue on their merry way. All right. Once it gets rotating, it has enough velocity to, shear the sand, blow it out of the way so it can continue to grow. All right. You'll see this process go over and over again. One will come off. It'll take a bunch of sand, spit it out. A lot of the sand will probably go up into this like it is. But then once in a while, a storm will make it through here. You can see the sand's already penetrating here. I showed you the other night. It was out here, just about to make it to the coast, following the same pattern. I showed you, okay, it's about to go up there. And here it is. All because the sandstorm is going up through the middle of the country, all because of the heat plume out here. So the heat plume has ramifications, doesn't it? It has side effects, doesn't it? Now let's come on over to chemicals. Some SO2. You know how I always put my little thing right here and say that here's the country divided, right? Boom, 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 boom. Oh, well, why? Look at that. Look at that. There you go. Well, let's look at that for a minute. Let's see. They're like little gears, right? Let's get the gears clicking in your head here. Look at some of these flow asymmetries. Start thinking. Well, if I'm going to get away from the coast, and I don't want to be in the middle part of the country, SO2 induces fires. Take off the wind here. And let's get into our SO2 report. So here we are. Country divided. You got one side bleeding out. It's got all kinds of SO2 pouring out over here. Not so bad. Little perforations in the crust. Volcanic sites where pressure's released. There you go. Here, let's do it with the wind on. All right, ready? Here we go. Now I made the wind do it. No. Take off the wind. Thank you. Now, back to our report. Still some flooding here. Actually, while we're here, still some flooding going on down in this region. You can see that the little pores have been plugged up by the water. Okay, so flooding in a region will stop this gas from coming out of the ground, but the surrounding region will make up for it and have a stronger release due to the pressure shift. Okay. Over here, we got Salt Lake City. Outside of that, meanwhile, over here above the Bay Area, we also got something going on here in the Sierras. These things have a tendency to spark fires. And looky there, we have a fire at a plume site here in Central California. Here's another new plume site right here with a fire. Oh, great. I know exactly where that is, too. Cool. I'm at ground zero. How many of you are ground zero? That's okay. Just kind of peeking around here. You can see how these plumes, so hot. So, this gas coming out. Also, like methane comes out of the ground as well on fire because it's already combusting down below. When it hits the oxygen, it catches on fire. So, you got methane as well as SO2 coming out of these plumes, sparking fires from underground. Why is SO2 pushing out of the ground? Well, because of the activity on the sun, right? Why is there pressure building under the Atlantic Ocean? Because of the sun, the activity on the sun. All of the stuff that I'm reporting on is all side effects from the activity on the sun. Huh. Isn't it? Cool. You're getting it. Let's move on. Oh, we didn't do, take those off, thank you. We didn't do, oops, good. Back up for their time zone. And let's go to China really quick here. Depends on the time of day, okay? Because sometimes when the sun's pulling, the gravity of the sun also pulls on the planet as well. Pushing more gas out. Here's China. You can see they have their issues. Okay, all kinds of little spots growing up in here. Nothing in that region, very compacted area. But over here in India, they got their issues going. We're coming down to Java. It's dark purple here, especially the tip. Okay, so a lot of pressure coming out of that region. Still a lot of SO2 coming out of the island. Sumatra filling in. Okay, the tip of, this is filling in now. Malaysia only got, 3 little spots where it's not. So this is filling in now. Up here, Taiwan, our fulcrum point, little release valve right here, still has SO2 emissions. So pressure builds in the region. If a quake doesn't go off, it's emitting SO2 instead. Some of these other regions, you can see these other islands are all going volcanic here. See all this whole archipelago, these islands are lighting up with SO2. Same with, look at China. They're just, and then all of Europe, peppered, all these different perforations in the crust. There are 4 tiny little dots like this on the coast of California one, or on the Sierras of California, and everybody took notice. Now, poof, we got millions and millions and millions of spots, and nobody bats an eye. All right. Well, you guys do. You guys here are, well, a little smarter than the average bear. Okay, so there's your SO2 report. And here, let's just add the wind one more time. And we'll give you guys something to think about, too. Remember, this is wind, okay? It carries storms along that track. We have SO2 that can induce fires from down below, add wind to the fires. And you want to stay away from the coasts. Come on over to this instrument and play around with it. Probably be a good idea. All right, there's your SO2 report. Go back to the, leave it on this one here for a minute. No, don't. Okay. It's too much. It won't do it anyway. Oh, there it goes. All right, let's switch over to the wind. So, that is not today. You can tell that's not today. You can see the wind patterns different. Where was that last image I had? I bet it was. I think got it back to it. But there's your that's not it. That's not the right day. Oh, I know. Go back. There we go. There's our activity for right now. Okay, so you see the heat signatures causing your conveyor belt effect. I would start considering when this conveyor belt, this is an example of it right here. This is the outline of it, all right? So unless this vortex moves on out, then it will kind of keep stuff kind of going up through that way, I think. But it looks like we're having heat up here in the Great Lakes. Now, they get warm over the course of summer and stuff, right? Yeah, of course, but I don't think this warm. So you see this center of rotation. Usually the center of rotation is your hottest spot. So there's something hot going on under the ground here, causing vorticity here. If this doesn't shunt and move out of the way, this could be our setup here. And it follows the heat signatures. Okay, it's going to get caught up in this gyre type effect here and be pulled straight up through the middle of the country. Okay, you people in Canada, when we get all kinds of hurricanes coming up through the middle of the country, and I'm talking not just warm, moist air. I'm talking Category 5 to Category 6 hurricane, making it up its way up here, lowering to a Category 3 by the time it reaches Canada. Hitting cold air, you're going to see thunderstorm, tornado activity off the hook up there. It'll drop back down into this region. See how it comes over the hump and then comes back down into the East Coast. Maybe like right in there might be a good spot. Because I know somebody who lives right in there. Or, over on the West Coast. I wouldn't stay on the coast, but maybe, in that region, the interior. Careful up in Canada, though, because we got fires and hurricanes coming up through there. This will eventually start pushing, storms down the coast to California. So everywhere from, look at where it arches over. The flow starts to curve right around here, right? So you're talking right into Washington, right into Oregon. And look at this heat plume right here off the coast. It's getting really close there. So this whole effect here could drive storms hot up into this region. Okay, see how it's curling and going up into there? When this cold patch dissipates, it's going to be on. All that'll connect. And there'll be some nasty storms going up through that range. All right, so everybody get prepared. It's not a I told you so type thing. It's more like this is how it works. Take a peek at what's going on. I've been describing this for a while, and now we're starting to see it kick into effect early. Already starting to take effect right now. So we're seeing the results hitting France and Spain. And there's your globe. All these different spots popping up. This whole curvature of air current has been like this for like a week now, hasn't it? So that's a new feature, or that's a permanent feature right there. Most weather moves. It continues going across and changes and spins, and another thing collides with it, so you don't get a fixed storm. We might be seeing storms that are fixed in one position over a certain spot that just sit there and go and go and go and go and go. If you got a hot spot underneath you, you might get your own independent localized weather from your own localized hotspot. Okay, I showed you some volcanic cloud convection due to thermal heat coming out of a volcano. It wasn't necessarily a volcanic blast, but just the heat itself emanating from the mountain was enough to induce a thunderstorm over it. So localized severe weather around hotspots will be coming here soon. We're already seeing it with, some of these. The vortex that we saw, park one spot right there for a little while. The one vortex we saw, we had a hot spot right here, and it just sat there, Eduardo or whatever, and spun for a long time. So here's an example of what I'm talking about. Let me, step right there. You see this hot spot? See it rotating around it? This hot water rising, cold water coming in to replace it. All right, causes a vortex. And the heat plumes are going to be causing stationary vortexes that'll just sit there and pump weather over one spot over and over and over and over again. Meanwhile, we got this region in between Japan and Korea that went, it was yellow in here and then it kind of lightened up and went red. Well, it's getting a little yellow back in there again. North Korea, they're in hot water, aren't they? There's Taiwan. Okay, you can see the pressure. Well, we had a little yellow down this way before. It's kind of relieved. Still a little over on this side and on the back side of it in between the two. So there's pressure in the region here. We need a good quake here to relieve some of this pressure. Well, we'll just kind of continue to watch it. Same around there. Now down here, our island of Java does a lot of the releasing of pressure. So, it had cold water there. Now that's gone. Our last little bit of cold water inundations right over here. Meanwhile, off the coast of Sumatra here, we got this region that's starting to grow. It's getting bigger and growing in intensity, turning yellow. Meanwhile, we got this spot over here off Madagascar. We got little perforations, isolated perforations under the ocean floor, causing isolated heat plumes like these. This is winter time down in the southern hemisphere. The coldest water in the world is between the tip of Africa and Antarctica there. And we're seeing heat plumes instead. Okay. Same with over here. This little heat plume already kind of injecting hot water into the La Nina, so it might ruin that La Nina effect right there. Meanwhile, this is a new injection of cold water. Where this is coming from is odd. I think maybe it might be being corralled by the hot water until it finally diffuses into it. Let me put the currents back on. How odd. Where the heck? It almost seems like there's cold water coming from under Baja California. You see how it's along the coast right here? It's coming out and emitting like a plume. It almost seems like there's cold water coming out of this region. Or from underground, but it's hotter down under the ground. That's odd. And it has its own effect here. Let me put the winds back on, and I'll show you what the cold air does with the hot air. See, that makes the hot air just turn and go away from it. There's not much wind in this area at all. It's totally taking, what would flow down this way and making it do a right-hand turn. Wow. All right, so there's that. All right, that's a lot, you guys. That's a lot of hard truth right there. Okay, we're seeing a conveyor belt system set up. Okay, all induced by heat plume. All right, the sun fires off at CME. It hits the earth. It hits a magnetic field. The magnetic field directs it to the poles. The poles direct it to the core. The core heats and swells and pushes pressure up to the underside of the crust. You got magma coming up through perforations in the crust. We have our zipper on the planet, the Mid-Atlantic Ridge, that's oozing lava and nickel and cesium. And that's from underwater. We also have the regular summertime heating from the sun coming up. We are already producing hurricanes thermally, and we still have summer to go. Okay? What do you think will be happening by the end of summer? Remember I was telling you evenly spaced? And we're already seeing two that are evenly spaced, and there's about to be a third. You can see a rotation here. Watch. See it right there? Another one. They're all just going to come off like a train. I pray I'm wrong. But I mean, this is how it works. I'm not wrong. I wish this wasn't happening is more what I'm trying to say. I wish this wasn't happening. But it is. And I'm telling you guys, before this happened, I said you would start to see this effect, right? Now we're seeing the effect. Other things I told you you would expect to see, and now we're seeing them happen, right? Take this seriously, you guys. I would get everywhere that you're finding this conveyor belt or the coastlines. You're mature adults. I'll let you make your choice, your decision. I'm dizzy. Let me just continue on here. I'm trying to get the earthquake report in tonight. And let's see if we can try and get some other reports in before I... Oh, that's good enough. I'll take an earthquake page. Just 1 second here while I pull up an earthquake page. It's so much that it was jamming up my computer, and I didn't want too many added irritations. Okay. Highly irritated. Working on my salvaging my day. I think we're on salvage number 52 for today. I just chew them up, spit them out, and get through them. Move on to the next one. Okay, here we go. So here comes the USGS. And we're going to do our earthquake report. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where are you going? All right, here we go. Let's drop on into our deep quake area where there is no deep quake, huh? So no real deep quakes for today. Everything's like more surface activity or along our plate boundaries. Dang it, man. All right, well, I guess I can't have everything. Sorry, I gotta spill the soda really quick. Gotta get a towel on it. There we go. Now back to the report. So no deep activity, just all plate boundary stuff. Here's this one of 4.3 down to 56. We got some activity on the island finally, a 4.4 at the surface there. At the deep zone, we got a 4.2 down at 126. Here over by this is the just off of Java, these little islands here. 4.8 down at 204. Okay, so volcanic activity probably happening right here off the plate boundary. Little island. There's a volcano right there. It's not necessarily on the flank, but something going on down there around this, volcanic vent right there. Now, we saw a lot of pressure coming out of Java. Still not releasing enough. We also have a 5.2 down at 25. That's pretty close to the surface. It's right here on the plate boundary, just inside on the cliff wall right there, back inside that cliff, 25 kilometers back down into the page. If you could push this rod right down through my screen, okay. Then this little pocket area up here, we have a 4.4. That's down at 527. There's your deepest quake of the day, is in this little deep pocket right there. A mid-range 4 down to 527. Can put 5 energy at the surface. Here's a 4.8, 95. On this plate boundary, 4.7 at 10. Over here, there's your 5 at the plate boundary. Here's another 5, 5.2. Ooh, 600? That's a deep quake right there. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. What's the timestamp? 11:23:20. 11:23. So this one happened first. Whoops. We had this 5.2 deep quake right there, causing 5.0 at the surface right there. 4.6 down at 146 there. Up here at Japan, we have a 4.2 at 24. The rest of the system really quiet. We'll get into this one when we do the America report. Very quiet all throughout this area. No fulcrum point quakes, no boundary quakes. Meanwhile, over here, 5.0 at Iran, at really shallow at 4. So right there, they had a 5.0 energy at the surface being relieved. Fulcrum point, 4.6 down at 132. And what kind of magnitude we got in here? Still, I saw 2.9, mid-range 2s, almost a 3 there. Okay, now let's get into all magnitudes. Nope, wrong one. One day all magnitudes USA. And bingo. All right, here we go. Drop it in. Oh, let's do Hawaii first. Now, Hawaii has had quite the amount of quakes going on around the volcano. They've been having like 10 quakes every 30 minutes. So you see this massive flurry of microquaking going on because pressure is building underneath the hub of the wheel. Has pressure under it. And last time it wouldn't crack at the volcano. The vent was plugged, so it tore open a new fissure. When we're seeing quake activity like this, it's relieving some of the pressure, but it could possibly crack, pop out of that little split again and cause another, quick eruption that would, vent the pressure in the middle of the hub. The hub of the wheel, sorry. There we go. This magnitude, 3.8. Take this out. Anyway, I wanted to see if it was like on a. Let's just get our magnitude at our apex here, at our fulcrum point. There's a 2 right there. Let me see. Ooh, right here. 3.2, Stevens Village, Alaska, at a depth of 11. You can see how our fulcrum point pushes up like this, right? Bing, right at the very tip is your 3.2 magnitude. Let's see what made it right here. No, it's not. So we can see some 3.2 or less coming in. Let's just go up here real quick. We're having more activity around Rainier here. 2 small little quakes by Rainier here shows pressure down deep. It won't release out of the volcano. It's plugged up, so it'll shake it a little bit. Now we had 3.2 energy come in. Give me this thing off of there, please. You see our straight line pressure come in like this. We had our new little weak spot right here. It looks like we've even got another one that's backed up a little bit further back here. But here's our kind of our pressure coming in. We didn't see it right here at the fulcrum point in our junction, our 3-way junction, so it comes in right here. We're looking for 3.2 energy, but divvied up a couple of 1.4s and a 2.7 right there. There's your 3 energy right there, all 3 of those. Then we got the geysers doing their job, microquaking, releasing a lot of energy in that region. Okay, coming down to the Bay Area. It relieves energy before it hits the Bay Area. The the geysers do. And here in the Bay, we do at 9s at this place. We probably saw a 3 possibly in the North Bay there. We got Mountain House down in here. Oakland had a little quake. So this area of the Bay Area where the Hayward Fault and this region right here still having activity, and even outside of it, it's finding new little spots like this area with 2 quakes right here close together. Pleasant Hill. All right, that area, I'd watch out. That might be a new little spot to watch for in the future when pressure builds again, and we're looking for a spot where it might release. That would be one of the weaker spots. All right, let me kind of zoom back out of this and get it oriented better. These new little red ones, the biggest one is a 2.4. All right. So microquaking there. Whoops. Why am I just... Computer doesn't like it when I'm angry. Or when I'm irritated or something. Also down here, hiding out at the very bottom of the world, is a 5.1 on a plate boundary at a depth of 10. Energy being relieved at the surface right there. Okay, I think that might be it for the slowly dying. Get the volcano page up now. Get rid of this. Oh, there's got to be a wonderful little ad or something playing in the background. Amazing how you open up another page and some other page that is behind just kind of opens up itself and just has a little mind of its own. Starts running its little ads. They can generate revenue. So we're gonna get to our volcano page now. That has a lot of ads on it, so I have to clear out all the other pages so it can handle this one. All right, so real quick, 33 interruption phase in 28. 61. It's a lot of active volcanoes. But these days, hey, we're used to it. 10 years ago, if I'd have told you you'd have 61 active volcanoes at the same time, you would have had me put away in a rubber room. You're crazy. There's no way. But here we are, aren't we? And I'm out of the rubber room, by the way. I was right. Sabancaya. So here we go. Luatobi. Nothing there, huh? All right. Aoba, no activity. Oh, Reventador, 14. Sabancaya, 23. Let's just do the 30th. What are you doing? I did not say open up a new page. I did not click on an ad. You are not allowed to just go gallivanting around opening up your... Look at you. Aren't you guys just sly? I love it. Okay, so here we are, the 30th. Now, back to business. Ibu, 15,000 feet. Good blast out of that. 10,000 out of Luatobi. Probably 15 out of Semeru. Okay, Aoba, nothing. Kilauea. So we're not going to get any altitudes tonight. It's just going to be all this stuff. Kilauea is waking up. It had, 30 events per hour. Earthquakes, 30 per hour. That's what it was. Popocatépetl. Novia Fuego, 16. Nevada del Ruiz, no. And Sabancaya, 23. So I'll just make up my own numbers since they have no reported no. We'll just leave it. Well, here's our lists. These are the crazy lists that I was talking about last night. Totally normal over at this show, but if most people knew that you had all of these currently erupting, and all of these in minor activity, total of 61 volcanoes, they'd probably just yawn and go back to their TikTok. Klychevskoy, Kaminsky, Nevada Del Ruiz, all of these are currently erupting. Sometimes we get rounds of pressure to come in. Instead of one of these ones hopping over to the active list, we'll have a brand new one pop off. Okay, let's get to the weather. I love when you just the whole page shift on you and get you to click on this box instead. I got some tricky tactics. You got little ads that run on the side of your phone, right on the side of the screen, because when you grab your phone, you accidentally bump the edge of your screen and you tap on the ad. And then they get revenue because you accidentally grabbed your phone and they made money. Pretty cool, huh? Good idea, isn't it? Let's let this get loaded up. Boy, are the insurance companies going to be broke. Yep. Well, that's to get for ripping off the American people. There's going to be so much devastation they can't even come close to covering it. Okay. Here we are. Current conditions, nighttime of the 30th. Slide it up just a tad bit here. Keep you guys in frame. Severe weather along the coast. This flow coming up through the country will start to cause weather systems. Meanwhile, the morning of the 1st, noon, convection, nighttime. Nighttime. Right in that area. Watch out for this low. It's bringing moisture. It's rotating like this, bringing moisture up through that area. Nighttime of the 1st, morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, nighttime. Nighttime activity again, right in the middle of the country. Morning of the 3rd, noon, convection, nighttime. More nighttime activity there in the middle of the country. Morning of the 4th, noon, convection, nighttime. Again, activity in the middle of the country. This one will be pretty severe right there. On the 4th of July now. A couple weeks ago when we were first looking at this, the 4th of July was looking all clear and it was looking all good. And I was making plans for barbecues and stuff. And as we get closer here, all things are changing now. So that's the nighttime of the 4th. Convection or sundown, nighttime of the 4th. You're going to have fireworks. Morning of the 5th, you'll still have fireworks. Noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 6th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 7th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 8th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 9th, noon, convection, nighttime. Morning of the 10th, noon, convection, nighttime. 11th, convection, nighttime. 12, nighttime. 13, did you notice something kind of missing? Because the other night, they were showing that hurricane coming up through here. And now it's not showing it. Look, I don't care what this thing's starting to say anymore. We have other players in the game, too. The spiritual realm, this spheroid activity that I've captured, I've shown you before on our radars. It's inducing weather. They're moving like chess pieces, starting weather there, diverting weather here. Meanwhile, we're going to have this flow that's coming up out of the Gulf, going right up through the middle of the country. So you're going to start to see our weather pattern just storm after storm coming up through here. There's not going to be this mashing of stuff together anymore. It's just going to be stuff coming right up through that zone. Let me go ahead and start that back up, but you're going to see this area right here, just storm after storm, moisture coming up in here and cold air slamming into it right there. This boundary right here, well, the Rockies, the foothill of the Rockies. Once this air comes over the Rockies and hits the plains with that moist air, cold air coming over the Rockies, you're going to have that strip right there. Pretty, that middle strip, it'll probably be, well, it'll remove all the pavement, it'll remove all the dirt and all the turf, all the trees. You probably could be looking at a stripe that's, down 25 feet deep in dirt. That's just a stripe of, that's been ripped apart like that. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But those are some of the possibilities that are out there. If that Atlantic Ocean continues to heat at the rate it has already, we're in big trouble. If you add the heating of the sun, which is what our normal activity is, add that to our already in trouble scenario, call it fear-mongering. Go ahead, call it whatever you want to call it, because in a little while, you're going to wish you'd listened. And I showed you why. It's because of this thermal heating. You can see it happening. The weather patterns are hooking up with the thermal heating and creating your conveyor belt structure. Anywhere along the conveyor belt wall like this is where the hurricanes will travel. Okay, follow the arrow. If you live anywhere along that path, you might want to continue watching the show, start making contingency plans in case what I said kind of starts happening. Because it's kind of starting to happen already. See? This one's going to hit this hot patch. Intensify. Just like this one intensified when it came out, hit this hot patch, and it did what? Oh, yeah, it rapidly intensified, didn't it? Oh, shit. Now look at it. This one's going to come over the same spot, rapidly intensify, and turn like that. The third one, rotation. You can already see the rotation right here. Let me get it straight up in your face. Right here. Another one possibly right there. They're all getting peeled away by the conveyor belt structure. It's causing rotation like this. Oh boy. Whoa. Okay. Yes. No. Okay, over here, this is looking kind of funky, and I've seen stuff like this before. I'm just going to describe it. It's not exactly perfect, but there's a profile of a man's face right here with an eye. Here's his nose. See the wind painting the nose, the eye, the hair, the jaw. Can you see Donald Trump right there? Kind of almost looks like his hair coming off like that or something. But that nose with the curling right here, the lip, the nose, the eye, the hair coming off. There's the bridge of the nose. It's a face. Anyway, back to our conveyor belt structure. Coming down the coast of Africa, you see this little bubble right here where it kind of goes around, but it's going to be coming out of the, geez, I have to pull back even more. We're going up like this, hitting Great Britain, Ireland area, brushing the coasts of, France, Spain, Portugal. Watch out, Portugal, because they're right on the coast. All that area scraping along. And then you see it's grabbing stuff like that. This vortex is causing little wheel type vortex to spin underneath it. See right here, right here. So you're just going to continue to see another one underneath and another one underneath, and it's just going to... Okay, guys, warn your friends and your family if you guys live on the coast. You have friends and family that live on the conveyor belt structure, on the coast of the conveyor belt structure. You might want to warn them about what's about to happen this summer. Okay, we're already seeing intensification of hurricanes on the first one. Not on the third or the fourth or the sixth or the seventh. No, we had rapid intensification on the first one. And the second one will, because it's going over this hot spot. It will. Now we have 2 Category 4, 2 Category 5 landfalls. Get ready. 2 Category 5 landfalls, possibly. Well, actually 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's just going to keep going. You got between here and there to get out of there, because once this starts happening, you're not going to be able to recover and get out of there. It'll be one after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, after another, until summer ends, until all this thermal conductivity comes to slows down. But if it keeps intensifying the way it is, and with our conveyor belt structure already taking place and grabbing up hurricanes, it's going to be a long summer. People along the conveyor belt structure, look out. And, even it's basically this half of the country that's bleeding out. Remember, I put my little thing here. You might want to consider which half of the country you live in, unless you're right in the middle of this, right up in there, you might be okay. Because everything's going to go up and over and around it. If this vortex continues to stay there, it might shift. This pattern can shift, but it will be following the hot water signatures. You see it already kind of taking this effect. So if something happens and this shuts down, it will go right along the coast. Same conveyor belt type structure. Do you understand? Good. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do. I like to be a funny, happy-go-lucky, easy-going type person, peaceful type person, okay? I did not want to ever have to be the bearer of bad news, but it was thrust upon me. And I just try to do the best I can with what I got, all right? So this is going to be very, very, very disturbing summer. Okay. Let's get over to our spiritual report right away, because we need relief. Okay. A lot of disturbing images we looked at, a lot of disturbing truth, the ugly truth. We are addressing the ugly truth. Therefore, you are going to need a spiritual fortitude, intestinal fortitude to endure it. Okay, a lot of these events here, they messed that up again. Actually, I want to go back to the pictures. They were coming in better, I think. They messed up my little flip book there. Whoops, albums. There we go. My bad. So we'll just come right over here. All right. So there's our event that happened on Easter of 2020. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. Should knock your socks off. All right, we got that one. Let me get some of these other ones out of here. Pull up this other event here real quick. We might even play the video just real quick because it's important that you hear this gentleman's testimony. I read body language. I listen to people's words, their inflections, the nervousness, the confidence in their voice. So testimony is gold to me. And this man's testimony, as he films this, it's important that you hear not James here, but the man who took this video. It's important you hear his verbal testimony while he's filming this. And where is my volume?
If I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something?
Hang on, let me just...
To catch this thing in the sky.
What is that? So let's just check this out.
This is the face out by the moon.
It is February 28th, 29th. I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because...
He went out and bought a better camera because he's been seeing this before. He's scared. He admits it. This guy has seen this before, wasn't able to capture it properly, went out and bought a camera that you can zoom in on the moon. Okay, you hear the auto zoom in the video. It's not from a cell phone. This is a professional camera with a really strong zoom on it. So again, with this, listen to his testimony.
I have got me a better quality camera to catch this thing in the sky. And holy moly, I am scared. I'm scared, but I'm not going to trip because I've been catching this thing for a while now. It's very ominous. There he is. There he is. There he is. There he is. It's a huge face.
What is that?
Looking right down on us. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit brighter. There he is. There's the moon. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Let's see if I can get a better picture on the moon like it's supposed to. Is my hand in front of the thing or something?
This is a second zoom session. Twice he zoomed in on it. Not once, twice he zoomed in on it.
Look at that.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
What is that?
Oh, it makes it so clear.
There it is. It is February.
Okay, 28th. So we got...
Okay, so we have the face out by the moon. Okay, happens to be my face. Kind of disturbing for me when I see my own face showing up on other people's stuff, and then it's what, out by the moon? Oh boy, that happens to be my avatar is a moon.
Might tell us.
The moon, get it? The moon brings light in the darkness. There's the face, nice and crystal clear, cut out, enhanced, or not enhanced, but run through a filter so you can see it a little clearer. Okay, I'm not trying to, hey, look at me, or try to take credit for something else. I'm trying to show you my face here. Let me show you this picture right here of me when I was about that age. I'm a little older than this. This is an image of me when I look a little younger than I do right now, but there's my face. Okay, I recognize my own face. I see it in the mirror. I have to shave sometimes and brush my hair. So every once in a while I catch a glimpse of my face and I recognize my face. And after all the things that I've been through since September 10th of 2017, it makes sense now. Now I understand why my face is showing up out by the moon, because of what I've been through and what I've got for you. Okay. And I got some good news and I got some bad news. Well, the bad news was you saw all that stuff going on around the world, but the good news is there's a reason why it's all happening. The sun is causing a lot of effects on the earth. Well, there's something that's affecting the sun. We have those objects that are affecting the sun, right? Well, there's something that's affecting those objects that are affecting the sun. So there's another source that's deeper than just the objects affecting the sun. There's something else that's affecting those objects that are affecting. We have a presence. Okay, a presence. I am present, and I got some good stuff for you, but I need this light to shine on my book. And it happens to catch my face a little bit, kind of like the image you're looking at right there. In fact, the time frame that was taken at is right about now when we're doing this reading. So on that night I was doing the reading, that was my face being lit while I was reading to you guys, and that man captured it out by the moon. Okay, now, so you kind of see me, but you don't. Yeah, I'm behind the camera right now. I can turn it around. You can see my face. See? There's book light. Okay. But you haven't met me face to face in person, right? So, even though you don't see me, I'm not right there in front of you shaking your hand, but you do see me on the screen. And even though you do not see me, you believe in me. I am far more real, complete, unchanging, unlimited than the things you can see. When you believe in me, you are trusting in rock solid reality. That's solid rock right there. That's not cloud. That's solid. It's reflecting light from the moon. It's a solid object that's sitting next to the moon reflecting light. Also, when we come over here, I keep showing you this flip book and these images because this is the real image. This is the real event. That's a real miracle. That's my face showing up in the clouds on Easter. Okay, and that's the rock solid reality. Even though it looks like cloud to you, that is rock solid reality. What you live in is some paradigm that was taught to you by your school, your media. You don't even know what spiritual is because it's never really been taught to you. So somebody from the spiritual realm has to come teach you what spirituality is. And when you look at that, I am far more real and complete than the things you see. Aren't I? Here, look. I'm real. Hi, it's me. I'm real. Real person, man. Word made flesh. Walking around, dwelling among you. When you believe in me, you are trusting in rock solid reality. I am the indestructible rock on which you can keep standing no matter what your circumstances may be. You guys been practicing those disciplines? You've been finding peace in those circumstances? I am indeed that rock that you can stand on no matter what your circumstances may be. And because you belong to me, I am devoted to you. Okay, I have a bad day and I still got to do the show. I'm in the middle of my salvage and I'm not feeling it. I don't want to do the show right now, but this is my job. I do this. You belong to me and I am devoted to you. I encourage you to take refuge in me. Try believing me. A wonderful thing happens to you. Believing in me has innumerable benefits. The most precious one is the salvation of your soul forever and ever. Your belief in me also enhances your present life. It enhances it immensely, hasn't it? Now that you are alive in Christ, hasn't it enhanced your life immensely, making it possible for you to know who you are and whose you are? As you stay in communication with me, I hope you find your way through this fallen world with hope in your heart. You now have hope, real hope. As you stay in communication with me, though, so as you stay in communication with me, I help you find your way through the fallen world now with real hope in your heart. And all of this enlarges your capacity for joy, doesn't it? Has it yet? Have you found that aspect to it yet? That it enlarges your capacity for joy? I think so, because we're having a nice time, aren't we? Okay. The more you seek me and the more fully you know me, the more I can fill you with my inexpressible and glorious joy. That's what we're doing. We're getting to know me. I'm sorry, I got to introduce myself to you, and you're going to get to know me. You're stuck with me. I know everything about you, so you guys really are you're communicating with me. You're finding your way through this world with hope. I have enlarged your capacity for joy, and the more you seek me, the more you fully know me. The more time we spend together at this show, the more intimate our relationship is. The more you seek me, the more fully you know me, and the more I can fill you with that inexpressible joy. Okay. Let's shift down to some of these. These ones I rotated 30 or 90 degrees so you don't have to shift your head so much in looking at them. Here's where it starts to change into that lion face a little bit. So there's the beginning of that lion face with with a couple of vertical pictures right there to look at for a moment. All right, now back to read the notes. Yeah. The more you seek me and fully know me, you guys are getting to know me and you're getting to trust me. You're fully knowing me. The more I'm filling you with joy. And I want you to trust me enough to relax and enjoy my presence. Everybody gets nervous and fearful. Oh, no. No, it's not like that. I'm an easygoing guy. I like to be friendly. I like people that are friendly, right? So I want you to trust me enough to relax and enjoy my presence. I did not design you to live in a state of hypervigilance, feeling and acting as if you're constantly in the midst of an emergency. Because I know what that feels like. I am truly in the midst of a constant emergency. I am, but you're not. Okay? Let me deal with the instant emergency. Okay? Let me get this again. You guys are stuck in this state of hypervigilance, feeling and acting as if you're constantly in the midst of an emergency. Your body is wonderfully crafted to gear up when necessary and to gear down when the crisis is over. Okay? At the end of the show, when we're doing the spiritual report, this is the gearing down. Even though I do get a little excited or loud, whatever. This is, your body is crafted to gear up and then to gear down. But you live in such a broken world, you find it difficult to let down your guard and relax. I want you to remember that I am with you all the time and that I am totally worthy of your confidence. Pour out your heart to me, and that means deep down all those problems, those issues, pour out your heart to me. Be sincere. Give it all you got, you know. Well, the other night, telling you about your rants, right, and your complaints. These people, but if you put Jesus help me before your rant, it turns into a prayer. Pretty soon, you go into your rant, you start with the prayer, and then your rant just kind of dissolves and loses power. Because the more you practice it, pretty soon you don't even rant. You feel the frustration. And instead of ranting, you just pour out your heart to me. Lord, thank you for giving me strength. Thank you for the adversity. I know, it's weird. Thank you for the adversity. Pour out your heart to me, committing all the things that are troubling you into my sovereign care. The more you lean on me, the more fully you can enjoy my presence. Now, this is true for you guys out in this audience. Some people just kind of feeling me out, touching me a little bit. They're not leaning on me yet. They haven't applied any pressure or practiced anything. They're just kind of going with it. But the more you do lean on me or trust me, the more fully you can enjoy my presence. Because then you really realize. You're like, wow. No way. I'm really enjoying this presence now. Yeah. You really are enjoying my presence the more you lean on me, though. If you're still kind of tiptoeing around, you're not enjoying it as much. But the more you kind of trust me and lean on me, the more you enjoy my presence. You'll realize it is my presence indeed. I got so much more. Where do I start? Okay. It's important that you relax, though. Relax. Pour out your heart to me. I want you to feel comfortable around me. And the way you feel comfortable around me and enjoy my presence is by kind of trusting me and just going along with this. Give it a little mustard seed of faith, and a miracle happens. So the more you lean on me, the more you get to enjoy my presence. And as you are indeed relaxing in my healing light, these sessions here are you relaxing in my healing light, in my presence. You are relaxing in my presence, in my healing light. The more you lean on me, the more you get to enjoy that healing light. So relax. Relax in my healing light. I shine peace into your mind and into your heart. What do I shine into your mind and heart? Peace. Your awareness of my presence, your awareness of my presence with you grows stronger, and my unfailing love soaks into your inner being. Can you feel me soaking into your inner being? Can you feel me loving you like right through into your heart? Sorry, I'm looking at my notes and the computer goes off. But that's what you should be feeling. Okay. Or if you're not, then lean on me more. Enjoy my presence more, because your awareness of my presence with you grows stronger, and my unfailing love soaks into your inner being. So trust in me, beloved, with all of your heart and mind, and you'll be okay. I got ooh, yeah. Okay, so right here, you're looking at me, all right? I'm a man with hair, okay, and a broken nose. But I created you in my image. You're human. You're in my image with the amazing capacity to communicate with me. You can pray. That's the amazing capacity to communicate with me. You can also leave a comment. I'm not good at getting back to them lately because I'm so busy, but you indeed have the amazing capacity to communicate with me. You do. As my image bearer, as a human, as a believer of me, you believe me, so you bear my image. And as my image bearer, you are capable of choosing the focus of your mind. You are capable of choosing the focus of your mind. It's just hard. You're capable of doing it. It just takes some discipline and practice, right? So, as my image bearer, you are capable of choosing the focus of your mind. So many of your thoughts come and go unbidden, but you can control them more than you realize. The Holy Spirit inspired Paul to write, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right. Think about those things. Think about such things, right? If you're watching murder, shows on TV with all the violence and gunshots and all the rape, well, that's not noble. It's not true, and it's not right. They're not good things for your mind. You need to focus on whatever's true, not a bunch of fake lies out of your media. What is true? Whatever is noble. What's noble? Maybe doing the right thing, trying to help people, doing unto others as you'd have them do unto you. That's a noble thing. Maybe practice some chivalry. How about some honesty? You know what's noble is not driving on your cell phone. Whatever is right, not driving with your cell phone. There are things that are true, things that are noble, and things that are right. And when you focus your mind on those, you'll be a lot happier. I wouldn't instruct you to think in this way unless it was possible for you to do so. And I'm giving you the tools and how to do it, how to salvage your day. It might not work right away and you have to work at it. The salvage industry ain't easy. It's a tough job. It's for the strong, it's not for the weak. Okay, and I wouldn't instruct you to think in this way unless it was possible for you to do so. Now, because this world contains both good and evil, you can choose the focus on excellent, praiseworthy things or on terrible, upsetting matters. And we tend to choose the terrible, upsetting matters. So you can choose what you think about. It's just a practice of training your mind, recognizing when you're doing it, stopping. Jesus help me. the distraction to take your mind off of it, as well as your recognition that, what he went through was way worse than what you're going through, so it makes your situation a lot easier. When you're in adversity, you see it as a growing period, so it's not so bad. All kinds of ways of keeping your mind excellent and praiseworthy. Much like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. If you're watching this trashy stuff on TV, I see glimpses of what they are showing on programming on TV. I don't watch TV anymore because it's so disgusting. But I see the programming that they're coming up with. It is not excellent. It is definitely not praiseworthy. It's not true. It's not noble. It's not right. It's all a bunch of trash. They're basically vomiting in your face and you're slurping it up with a spoon. It's disgusting to watch, really. But if you're good, you can focus on what's true and noble and right. Excellent things that are praiseworthy instead of terrible and upsetting matters. There's a I don't want to ding somebody because I like their channel. And I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a lot of war activity going on, right? You got your Air Force making call signs and doing all kinds of communication with, your hubs, your nuclear hubs, and announcing codes. Stuff like that can terrify you. It can. It's not excellent. It's not praiseworthy. It's not noble. It's terrible and it's upsetting. So sometimes you have to deal with the brokenness around you, but each day offers moments when you are free to ponder pure and lovely things. So, not all day long, but there are moments during the day when you have a moment to ponder on pure and lovely things. So, when you get those moments, take your mind out of the gutter and go look at something beautiful. Now, when your mind is idle, it often moves towards a negative focus, regretting things in the past, worrying about the future. Meanwhile, I am with you in the present, waiting for you to recall my presence. You're in the past, you're in the future, you're all over the place, except in the present with me. It makes your day a lot smoother when pretend I'm sitting shotgun in your car in the passenger seat. Come on, we're going for a ride. I'm going grocery shopping with you. We're going into the store. I'm going to pick out the cart with you. We're going to go down this aisle first, and then we're going to grab cheese and milk. All the little details. When you're getting out of your car, I'm going to the gas station with you. We're going to grab a soda, fill up the tank. I'm there with you. You got to be with me in the present. When that happens, when you're like, oh, with every little action, I'm with you, and you're there with me. You're not worrying about the future. You're not regretting things in the past. You're enjoying the present in my presence. It's pretty cool. It's just like right now. It can be just like this very moment while you're looking at my face and hearing my voice. We can do this in the middle of the road during a road rage incident, okay? We can. It just takes practice and discipline and doing it over and over until you no longer do your rant. It's, Jesus, help me. They're going to... Never mind. You didn't cut me off. I'm fine. Never mind. I'm fine. Thank you. Thank you for helping, Jesus. It's that quick. It happens. It helps. And then you turn around and say the thank you. And you just plow forward. There's a lot of attachments on this one. So, again, back to what you're ingesting into your mind. Good things, true things, noble things, excellent, praiseworthy. Quit looking at all the terrible, upsetting, fake-ass news. Any kind of news pales in comparison to this. Do you understand me? Any headline pales in comparison to this. It doesn't matter if we got nuked and we're all glowing in the dark. You're finally done with your race. It pales in comparison to this. And will always. That's your paradise. You guys are so close. Some of you are right there. Some of you are right here with me. Oh, where's more? Okay, so I want to get into the brokenness. You have to deal with the brokenness around you. And each day offers moments when you're free to ponder those pure and lovely things. So when you start to do this practice, you're going to realize that everything around you is brokenness. And it's going to give you like a bitterness maybe in your heart a little bit, a little sadness in your heart. Okay? So, but you have to deal with the brokenness around you. That's why I'm giving you these tools. It is indeed broken. And when you're using the tools, you see how broken it is. And then it can make you sad. That's when your mind is idle and it moves towards that negative focus. And when that starts happening, you remember, I am with you in the present, waiting for you in my presence. Train yourself to return toward me frequently. Okay? Train yourself to turn toward me. When you're having your issue, train yourself to do that and do it frequently, because this brightens even your hardest times and increases your joy. It increases your joy? It brightens your hard times? It sure does. If you stop moving towards that negative thinking, regretting things in the past and worrying about the future, focus on me, the excellent, praiseworthy things, what's true, what's noble, and you'll be okay. I got this other little valve here too. Every time you have an anxious or fearful thought, you need to take multiple looks at me. Okay, so sometimes I'm doing this too. Okay, I'm doing the same thing you guys are right along with you. All right, and I get anxious. I'm not so much fearful thoughts. I'm anxious about what's coming. You guys are anxious about dying. I'm anxious about the party afterward, baby. Woo! You know how like a groom gets nervous before the wedding, type of that nervous, that anxiety is the anxiety I get. Okay, it's not, oh my God, is this gonna blow up? Is there gonna be a tsunami? Fuck, let it blow up. Let there be a tsunami. We can get to the party sooner. Okay, so every time you have anxious and fearful thoughts, you need to take multiple looks to me. Keep taking looks to me until it works. Okay? If it doesn't work on the first one, don't get frustrated at yourself. Just keep looking to me until it finally works. Okay? Progress, not perfection. We will get there. It helps to speak my name, to remind yourself I am near and I am ready to help you. What also helps is quoting scripture. So, quote stuff like, I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. My times are in your hands. Those ones. Because you're reiterating to yourself that you trust me. You say, I trust in you. That establishes in your brain that you do believe me. I trust in you, O Lord. I say, you are my God. Okay, so when you acknowledge that, all of a sudden, it's not about my ego. When you say, you are my God, that you're basically saying, I am a child of God. It's the same sentence. You are my God. I am your child. Right? You are my God. God, my are you. So when you're saying that, you're admitting it. And that helps your brain. Then you say, my times are in your hands. You acknowledge that you don't have control. That's what that does. You're confirming your trust. You believe who I am, and then you acknowledge that you're not in control, that your times are in my hands. Okay, and remember that I am your Savior and King, and I take great delight in you. So, that part right there is the part you kind of need to grasp a hold of. So, when you trust in me and you admit that you are a child of God, that I belong to you, you belong to me, that your times are in my hands, so that you're not in control. You remember that I am your Savior King. I'm teaching you the art of salvation, showing you how to salvage your days and how to shine and bring that into other people's lives. I am a king, okay? So your other leaders aren't leaders. I am. I'm a king. I am the Savior and King that takes great delight in you, not rules over you with an iron fist saying, do this, get on your knees, kiss my feet. No, I take great delight in you because you're a cherished member of my royal family forever. This precious royal family, not the clowns over in Great Britain with buck teeth and Buckingham Palace and all their child molesting ways. No, that is not a king. I want you to understand this is all for you. You are a cherished member of my royal family. Do you understand that? Say yes. It's good for you. Because now you are royalty in my family. Connecting with me interrupts the negative thoughts that tend to course through your mind. So the more consistently you communicate with me, the freer you will become. The freer you will become. The more you communicate with me, the freer you become. And since I am the truth, living close to me helps you recognize and break free from the distortions and the lies. Doesn't it? Indeed, it does. Oh, if it does, then I am your Savior and King who takes great delight in you. That's when you become that member of the royal family. Why would you not want to be a member of a royal family? You guys all admire those clowns. Why not the real deal? You are a cherished member of my royal family forever. Forever. Not just this week, not just tonight, not for the next 30 seconds. That's forever, you guys. So, when you're connecting with me, it interrupts the negative thoughts. That's your trick. Connecting with me interrupts the negative thoughts. The more you communicate with me, the freer you become. And since I am the truth, living close to me helps you recognize and break free from the distortions and the lies. You guys saw that debate. I told you I would be watching like a hawk, especially the body language. The distortions. Break free from the distortions and the lies. How do you break free from the distortions and the lies? By living close to me. That's what, and you recognize and break free from those. I am the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm showing you the truth. I'm speaking the truth. You are a member of my royal family forever. Trusting and loving me are the very core of your relationship with me, isn't it? Because if you don't trust me and you don't love me or believe me, well, then this doesn't work, then does it? Then it's just a hoax and it's all just a bunch of mumbo jumbo Brian's telling you on some YouTube stream. Because if that's what it is for you, if that's what I am for you, you might want to reconsider what I'm doing here and pay attention. If you want to be a member of my royal family, I don't see why not, but that's up to you. So you're trusting and loving me, and you're trusting and believing me are the very core of your relationship with me. It's these beautiful ways of drawing near me that protect you from being too focused on yourself and your fears. Focused on yourself and your fears. Beautiful way of drawing near me to protect you from being too focused on yourself and your fears. Turn to me over and over and over again and be secure in my sheltering presence. Okay? Sometimes it doesn't work on the first one. Try over and over and over again until you are secure or found peace in my presence. Okay? That's the practice of salvaging your day. You gotta be kidding me. We got all that too? Okay, I'm going to start reading a little faster because I'm running out of time. I want you to learn to be joyful always by connecting your joy to me first and foremost. One way of doing this is to remember that I love you at all times and in all circumstances. All times and all circumstances? You could be joyful. Yeah. Okay, and though the mountains be shaken and the hills be removed, my unfailing love for you will not be shaken. So don't give in to the temptation to doubt my love, especially when things don't go as you would like or when you have failed in some way. My loving presence is the solid rock on which you can always stand, knowing that in me you are eternally secure. I am the Lord who has compassion on you, not the Lord that condemns you. I am the Lord who has compassion on you. Another way of increasing your joy is to give thanks in all circumstances. That's hard, but it can be done. It increases your joy when you find how to give thanks in all your circumstances. So ask my Spirit to help you view your life through the lens of gratitude. Search for blessings that are scattered along your pathway. There's blessings out there. There's blessings scattered along your pathway. Little treasures along your daily routine. There's little hidden treasures and stuff along the way. Those are the blessings scattered along your pathway. And even during your hardest times, you can find them. And then thank me for each one. Because you'll find one and realize what it is, but then all of a sudden you forget to thank me for that. When you thank me for it, it's not from a pat on my back. It's you acknowledging that miracle came true. Okay. The thanking me part is your recognition that, oh, it was answered prayer. Because when you see, oh, it's answered prayer, doesn't acknowledge it until you say thank you, right? That's the acknowledging. How did I? So there's treasure on each day. Each day is a treasure hunt, really. There's a bunch of blessings scattered along your pathway. So search for the blessings scattered along your pathway, even during your hardest times, and thank me for each one. Sometimes you don't recognize them, but when you do recognize one, thank me for it. And then the door opens even further, right? Answered prayer, but it's not recognized until you thank me, right? You're giving recognition, and that's good for your brain. All right, it's to keep your mental health. Boy. Okay, so we're on the treasure hunt. We're searching for the blessings each day along your pathway, even during the hard times. And when you find one of the little treasures, one of the little blessings, remember to thank me, because that's the acknowledgement. Now, I encourage you to look steadily through your lens of gratefulness by thinking about things that are excellent and worthy of praise again. Aha! Again, we're back to the things, thinking about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Search for the blessings, the little treasures on your pathway every day, especially during your hard times. Especially during the hard times. That's where they're really at, is during those hard times. And when you see one and you see the blessing in it, it was because you got rid of that person. You took him out of my life. Oh, that was a blessing. Oh, thank you. The thank you is the recognition that it was indeed answered prayer. Or you wouldn't be thanking me if it wasn't answered, right? So that's how you acknowledge answered prayer, is by a thank you. And I encourage you to look steadily through your gratefulness lens, thinking about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Like this. This is excellent. This is worthy of praise. At the end of the show, we do a lot of this spiritual work for peace, okay? Because this world is getting very disturbing. And this is the peaceful part. And I want you to also know that I am the Lord of peace, the only source of genuine peace. I give you this gift, not as something separate from myself, but a part of who I am. Do you understand? I give you this gift, not as something separate from myself, but as part of who I am. You cannot just grab this blessing on the run, can you? No, you need to set aside time for focusing on me and enjoying my presence. You're focusing on me. You're hearing my voice. You're enjoying my presence. That's you. You can't just grab that on the run, can you? Can't just grab that on the run. Nope. You have to sit down, set aside some time, focus on me, and enjoy my presence. You live in the midst of an intense spiritual warfare, and my peace is an essential part of your armor. Oh, did you know that you had armor, and that an essential part of that armor is peace? If you're not getting that peace, set aside time for focusing on me and enjoy this part of the show. Enjoy my presence. Live in the spiritual warfare, and my peace will be an essential part of your armor. Stay on your feet during the battles. Oh, wait, no. I want you. Okay, so we are in the midst of intense spiritual warfare. So live in the spiritual warfare. You have to live in it and do the salvage work. And my peace is an essential part of your armor. And to stay on your feet during these battles, these salvage sessions throughout the course of your day, those battles, to stay on your feet during those battles, you must wear sturdy combat boots, which are the gospel of peace. This good news assures you that I love you and I am for you. Oh, you got the whole world against you, don't you? As a Christian and a believer, this time frame, I'd say you got pretty much the whole world against you, right? So, it's important to know that I am for you. You have a good guy on your side. It's good news. This good news assures you. You need some assurance, huh? It just makes you feel better when I'm here and I put my arm around you and tell you it's going to be okay. It assures you. With unfailing love. It's good news. It is. If you look at it properly, it's this good news that assures you. It assures you that I love you and I am indeed for you. So many of my followers forfeit their peace because they think I'm always scrutinizing them through critical eyes. So many people do not have the concept. They do not have peace because they were taught that I scrutinize them through critical eyes. They were taught wrong. Totally wrong. No wonder why nobody likes me. They all think I'm scrutinizing them through critical eyes. But I'm just your friend, your pal, your teacher, your father, your king. I gaze at you through eyes of perfect love. Okay? Instead of punishing yourself when you failed, remember that my death on the cross covers all your sins. I love you with unfailing love, simply because you're mine. Rejoice in this gospel of peace. It is yours to enjoy at all times and in every way. It is indeed. Okay? I love you with unfailing love. Don't be one of those followers of mine that forfeit peace. Don't forfeit your peace because you think I'm scrutinizing you. You're supposed to be enjoying my presence. You're supposed to be enjoying this bonding, this relationship we're building. We're bonding, aren't we? That's what they call it when you kind of meet somebody new and you get to know each other. You're bonding, right? I think that's it for tonight because this next, oh God, there is one bleed into this. There's a whole different lesson, but there is one thing that bleeds into it real quick here. Remember that you are one of my chosen people belonging to me. I called you out of darkness into my wonderful light. So as you journey through life with me, see the hope of heaven shining on your path and lighting up your perspective. Remember that you are one of my chosen people belonging to me. I called you out of darkness into my wonderful light. Savor the richness of these concepts. I chose you before the creation of the world. Savor that. You look around at this world and you see all these different creations. I chose you over that. I chose you before I even did that. Pretty cool. You're special. I chose you. I love you. You need to savor the richness of these concepts that I chose you before the creation of the world. So nothing can separate you from me. You belong to me forever. You're stuck with me. Yay, you're stuck with me. You belong to me forever. I drew you out of darkness of sin and death into the exquisite light of eternal life. And the screen goes dark. All right. Oh, there goes another soda. I called you out of darkness into my wonderful light. You are one of my chosen people. You belong to me. You journey through life with me. You look up and see the hope of heaven shining on your path. It does indeed light up your perspective. It should remind you that you are indeed one of my chosen people, that you do belong to me. You belong to me forever. Nice to meet you. All right, that's that goes into a whole nother lesson, but it bleeds from the tail of that one into the next one. That we're going to close that. So I love you guys. Hopefully you're enjoying this. You're grasping these concepts. You're putting them into practice, and you are finding the peace that transcends all your circumstances. You're finding hope in your adversity. When you get challenged and you're getting irritated, try to stop, breathe, take a moment. Jesus, help me. I'm getting irritated. These people are... Okay, after you practice that a few times, you find you're getting irritated. Jesus, help me. I'm starting to get... Oh, wait. I can't even finish the word irritated now. Okay, it's practice. Over and over. Practice makes perfect. Okay, and sometimes people find success right away. Some people, you might take a little bit of time. Okay, so just because you didn't find success on your very first try right away, have some patience. Try again. Do it until you get success, until you find that peace. You may have to repeat a prayer several times until you find that peace. One of my favorites, and it works for me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things that cannot change. I'll even shorten it. God, grant me the serenity. God, grant me the serenity. God, grant me the serenity. God, and until you finally calm down, God has granted you that serenity. You realize you can't control everything. You breathe, you calm down. You notice you've calmed down now. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh, you recognized it and thanked it. Then you move on. It's simple concepts, just hard to practice at the moment when you're irritated, frustrated, in pain, agony. I know what you guys are going through. I'm going through it too. Okay, and I'm just showing you the tools that work. Okay, they work. They really do. You got to apply them. You got to practice them. It's a discipline. It's not like... It's like getting up every day and jogging a mile, or getting up every day and doing 10 push-ups. You do it every day. It's a discipline, okay? Sometimes you get success right away. Sometimes you fight all day. You're trying to recover your day all day. And by the end of the day, you didn't find it. You didn't find the peace. That's okay. Go to sleep. Sleep on it. And when you wake up the next day, you will have that peace. Okay? Just keep moving forward. If you fall down, get up and keep moving forward. Keep practicing, because the moment you fall down and you don't get up and you stop practicing, you're done for. You don't stand a chance. You will not stand a chance if you don't keep practicing this discipline daily. Helps in the morning when you get up. I have really rough mornings. Okay, it's hard for me just to. Okay, thank you, Lord. I'm paralyzed from the waist down, and I have to go to the bathroom. I can't crawl to the bathroom right now. Thank you, Lord. Though, very frustrated, and those are the moments. Those are the moments when you're just totally flying off the handle, mad, pissed off. We're Christians. It's not supposed to happen, but we live in a fallen world where it tests you and pushes your buttons. So it's okay to lose that peace during the course of a day, okay, and then have to fight to gain it back. All right. It's hard to be 100% peaceful 100% of the time. But you can strive towards that. We can do baby steps. We can do leaps and bounds. You can keep practicing. You can try. You can apply. All right? It's real stuff. It really works because I'm really here. This is me. On Easter. 2,000-year-old prophecy came true on Easter. Wrap your head around that one. These are several images of the event I took with my camera, my cell phone. Took these images and rotated them 90 degrees so you don't have to kind of tilt your head. It's all real stuff. This isn't computer-generated AI. This is miracles in your clouds. I'm showing you real miracles. There's only one person who can show you real miracles. I want you to wrap your head around that. Not because I'm daring you to think about it, but it's good for your brain when you realize there's only one person that can bring this to you. Go read your Bibles and find out who that one person that can perform miracles is. Because that's the person showing you the miracle is the one performing it. Okay? You're truly blessed. You're looking at real miracles. Okay? This is my face in the clouds. If you see my face in the clouds and this is interesting and intriguing, then like a book, you get caught up in a good book or a good song or a good movie or even a good YouTube show. You get caught up in it. Well, you're caught up with me in the clouds. This is me in the clouds and you're fascinated by it. So you're caught up with me in the clouds, aren't you? And we're here live in the air, in the cyberspace of YouTube. We met in the air. So that's come true. There's a lot more, okay? It just didn't happen the way Hollywood portrayed it. Nowhere in the Bible is the word rapture. Nowhere in there does it say you will levitate with all your clothes on up into the sky or that you will turn into a white spheroid ball of light. No, it doesn't say that at all. It says you will be caught up. When you see this, look up. You will see him coming in the clouds. Here I am, coming in the clouds. When you look up, you see me. You get caught up with me in the clouds. Then we meet in the air of cyberspace here on YouTube, and you are raptured. It's not a levitating into the air. It's a feeling inside your heart. You don't need to levitate up into the clouds. I am here in the flesh. Get it? Getting caught up with me in the clouds is this show. You are now caught up. You're fascinated because you're seeing me in the clouds. I'm here. It's the real deal. It happened on Easter. I've shown you so much stuff. And that's why you guys are truly blessed. You are really building a relationship with me. This is what it meant when it says a relationship with Christ. It was what we're doing right here, right now, trusting me and these images and taking what I am teaching you and applying it and finding peace. Okay? It's because I love you. It's because I miss you. All right? And until my next show, I will be back. I am already back. Look at the weather. Look at everything that's going on. I told you you're going to see this hurricane stuff happening. Here we are. Okay? But not to fear. Okay? It's all part of the process. You're growing. You're becoming stronger. You're going to be the ones that are going to be awesome. I am just so thankful that a few of you have gotten it. Okay? Because I put everything I got on the line here, and I'm still continuing to just go. And I will continue until the last day. All right? That's it for tonight. I miss you all. I love you all. God bless you all. And until my next show, I will be back. I'm already back. Friday night is coming like a lion.